It's December 22nd, and this is the last show of 2022. So we're running down some of the top stories of Arkansas agriculture this year, right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Brian Pistow and Jason Brown.
You better get your big coat on. My friend, it is the tundra.
For sure.
My goodness. Cold,
sure.
cold.
Although I feel like I've added a little layer of extra on top of that.
You have.
I'm stuffed.
No, I'm pretty full. I've got a full belly and a full heart.
That's
ready.
Right. It was good eats. We ate lunch together, but in all fairness, the camera adds 50 pounds
for sure.
So just in case.
And these new chairs kind of expose that entire profile.
They do.
I'm just telling you that.
I feel like a fat man in a little chair.
Yeah. By the way, still thank you for these new chairs.
Yes.
Again, you
as if I had anything to do with that.
I went back and watched. I know I went back and watched a little bit of last week, and when I said that, you just like, I totally caught you off guard. Oh, me. As we said, it's December 22nd. This is the last time you'll hear from us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yours get a little break before the new year. And, gosh, we hope you have a good holiday season and a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. We were talking a little bit over lunch about traditions and things that, the way we do things, the way we grow up doing things, how that changes as we become adults and have our own families and things like that. And I'm telling you, I'm just looking forward to really spending a bunch of time together with especially my two girls at home.
Yes.
Yes.
The the older I get and you start watching all the holiday movies.
Yeah.
Growing up when you were younger, you're a lot more naive to everything and just kind of boring. But now you watch them like, yeah, I get all these family dynamics why this stuff is happening. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I know all the way from Home Alone to It's a Wonderful Life. I understand it all. Yeah. We took our daughter to see White Christmas at the Argenta Community Theater on Sunday, and the gentleman who opened the show, I did not know this, said that Irving Berlin, who wrote White Christmas, was actually of Jewish faith. Lost his son on Christmas and wanted to remember Christmas in a different way.
Wow.
And that's how he wrote the song White Christmas, which was for Holiday Inn. So Bing Crosby had asked him to write that song, and it was in Holiday Inn. And then from Holiday Inn, the movie White Christmas was born.
Wow.
So that came first.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting and like also gut-wrenching at the same time. But I remember my dad watching those movies, my grandparents growing up, just rolling my eyes. And those are some of my favorite movies to watch now. You know?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love a good Christmas movie.
Yeah, me too.
Still trying to make my way through it. We haven't seen Elf yet.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We haven't watched Love Actually yet, love it or hate it, everybody has something to say about that movie.
Yeah.
We try to watch it at least once a year.
That and Die Hard, I feel like, is always
everybody wants to watch
the debatable.
So, holiday movie or not a holiday movie?
I'm in the no. I'm in the no camp for Die Hard.
I always have been too, but don't tell.
I know you can upset. Yeah, I know you can upset folks.
But
like that.
Everybody says it's a Christmas movie. So
yeah. Anyway, so hopefully we'll do some of that. Catching up Christmas movies and things like that. Staying warm, really. Next, we're not planning to leave the house until probably Sunday.
Yeah.
Hunker down and stay warm. Well, speaking of leaving the house, we've got a couple events to talk about, and then we're going to get right into the show. As we promised, we are going to run down some of the top news headlines for Arkansas agriculture, at least of the year. No particular order. Certainly not all inclusive there, but some of the ones that stuck out that we've covered on this show.
Yeah.
But before we do, I'll do one of these, you do the other. How about that?
Okay.
We've gotten a note here about the 2023 grain bin safety program. This is generally pretty popular. As a matter of fact, I think it's sold out most years. But this is a program that's sponsored by Arkansas Farm Bureau. We're a little ahead of the game, but it's taking place February 21st, 2023. The class this year will be held at Big K's Catfish Barn in Hazen, which sounds just like a good time on its own. Attendance is limited to 300 people, and there's a maximum of 5 people per group. So 5 people per farm, per fire department, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
The deadline to register is January 31st. Again, the event's on February 21st. And if you're interested in attending, you can RSVP to myra.moix@arfb.com. Again, that's myra.moix@arfb.com. Or you can call Brock Roberts at 501-912-0147, and they'll hook you up.
That's great. That's great. And that's a great event.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of people at that.
For sure.
Also coming up, again, our winter commodity division meetings. They're happening at the Wyndham Riverfront Hotel in North Little Rock on January 31st. Registration opens at 8:30.
Okay.
And there'll be a lot of folks at that as well.
Yeah. I think John Bailey and their team is in charge of that. So
yes.
If you've got questions, you can talk to them.
Yes.
All right. As we mentioned, this is the last show of the year. We will be back the first week of the year, I think. I was trying to think of that date. I guess that's the 5th. We should be back January 5th. So thanks for joining us, and let's just dive on in. We're going to have a little fun today, do things differently. To start, we'll recap some of the top attention-getting topics for Arkansas agriculture in 2022. Again, these are in no particular order. Each of these were important topics that we covered here on the AgCast. And the first topic on the list is weather. From the super soggy spring that set back row crop producers to the first drought of the year. You heard that right, the first drought of the year, which impacted farmers and ranchers in the summer. Then we leveled out with precipitation in August and September, bringing some hope and, in some cases, some miracles. We talked to lots of cattle ranchers who had to get into their winter hay supplies to feed during the first drought, who ended up getting additional cuttings in August, September. They were really concerned about that inventory.
Yes.
Ended up getting some more hay out of the field. But alas, drought struck again in the fall, which really impacted row crop farmers during the harvest and took its toll on ranchers too. I think we'll talk more about that. But yeah.
Indeed. And while we're on the topic of drought, the next story on the list that made the list was the Mississippi River levels that were during harvest this year. The river hit record-setting lows right at the most crucial time of the year for row crop farmers, which is harvest. In fact, traffic stopped completely between Osceola and Greenville, Mississippi. We saw impacts reach into basis prices, half-full barges, and so much more during the fall. We had a good amount of rain in the past month, but the river is still playing catch-up to this point. In addition to this impacting exporting crops, the river levels also created trouble to much-needed inputs coming to farms along the river in preparation for the 2023 growing season.
Yeah. Trying to get those things upriver as we're trying to get crops downriver, and it just didn't happen. All right, while we're on the topic of more recent news, let's talk about Ag Secretary Wes Ward. Last week, we reported that Governor-elect Sarah Huckabee Sanders reappointed Wes Ward as the Arkansas Ag Secretary, or at least her intention to do so once she's in office. This is great news for our industry, and our president, Rich Hillman, noted that, quote, "We are encouraged by Governor-elect Sanders' action. We've developed a meaningful and beneficial relationship with Secretary Wes Ward over the past 7 years and believe his reappointment is in the best interest of our state's largest industry. So congrats to Secretary Ward.
Yes, congrats indeed. The next newsmaker on our list is a national avian influenza outbreak. We saw this outbreak take off early in 2022. Arkansas officials acted quickly to put biosecurity measures in place to keep poultry producers and backyard flock owners safe from the spreading disease. Those efforts were credited in managing the impact, keeping the cases in Arkansas at a very small level. I believe there were only 2 or 3 flocks impacted. We continue with some of those biosecurity practices in place today and hopefully continue the minimal impact in the state.
Yeah. All right, we're ticking along. Next on the list was a pretty big one for Arkansas. Senator Bozeman, ranking member of the Senate Ag Committee, hosted a farm bill hearing here in the state, the first meeting of its kind in Arkansas. The hearing was held on the campus of Arkansas State University in Jonesboro and was attended by Committee Chair Debbie Stabenow of Michigan. We'll talk more about those two here in a few. During the hearing, the senators heard from farmers and other stakeholders on topics within the farm bill that would impact Arkansas. The two senators also took part in an ag tour of NEA while they were in town. We were in attendance, and it was great to see the bipartisan relationship that both committee members had and their focus on issues that affect farmers and ranchers.
Yes, and moving to the southern portion of the state, this was not only a big story for agriculture, but a big win for our team here at Farm Bureau as well.
Yeah.
That is the opening of the Arkansas Center for Forest Business at the University of Arkansas, Monticello.
Yes, sir.
Members on our team worked hard to get funding approved for this project in an effort to have dedicated resources for supporting and growing the forestry industry in the state. In addition to the great news value of the story, they had a unique ribbon-cutting ceremony where the governor actually sawed off the end of a log to commemorate the occasion.
I remember seeing that picture. Yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, gosh, there are so many big stories to tell in 2022. It's impossible to cover them all, but the last one on our list for the show in the Arkansas is the Arkansas Ag Department stepping in to help with H-2A inspections in the state. H-2A labor plays an important role in our state's ag industry, and there's a lot of process that comes along with hosting these workers on your farm. An element of this is housing inspections for the employees who travel to the state to help farmers. Due to COVID and other impacts, the Arkansas Ag Department was able to step in to assist with the housing inspections earlier this year. We've talked to several farmers who are thankful for the relief provided by the Ag Department, saying the labor is essential to seeing their season through. After reporting on this, we learned that the Ag Department has received the proper documents to assist again in the future, which is definitely good news for farmers.
Yes, indeed. And if you're interested in learning about any more of these stories that we've mentioned on this list, you can visit our website, arfb.com, and check out our video section.
Yeah.
We've produced stories on each one of these topics, in some cases multiple pieces of content because we were covering it for a while.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Probably social media channels too, yes. I bet. All right, I know we were not planning to cover current news today, but we had one hot item come in from the Senate Ag Committee yesterday and wanted to add it to today's show. So your piece of new news, if you will, Senator Bozeman and his work on the Senate Ag Committee has helped secure important ag and nutrition provisions in the year-end legislative package. Bozeman worked with Chairwoman Debbie Stabenow, Democrat of Michigan, and their counterparts in the House of Representatives to work to address issues such as relief to rice producers in the face of high input costs, updates of the summer food service program for students, climate action as it pertains to agriculture, pandemic assistance for cotton merchandisers, action addressing pesticide registration issues, SNAP benefit security, and really a whole lot more. There's an entire list of these items in much greater detail that was addressed in this legislation available on the Senate Ag Committee's website, ag.senate.gov. Check it out.
Yeah, they just announced that this week, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to squeeze that in, especially since it's our last show of the road. Well, let's step away from the news to hear about how you can help cultivate safe roads in Arkansas.
Arkansas farmers and ranchers work 7 days a week. That means when you hit the road, you may be sharing it with farm equipment, especially if you're traveling along rural roads and county highways. Farm equipment moves slower than our pickup trucks and minivans. They may not have the safety lights and turn signals of our family vehicles either. The trucks and tractors moving down the road need extra room to make turns, cross bridges, and move through intersections too. We all get in a hurry sometimes, but it's important that we all stay safe, no matter if we're headed to buy groceries or grow them. So next time you're cruising past a pasture or field, keep an eye out for farmers. They'll be sure to keep an eye out for you too. If we all work together, we can make sure Arkansas is cultivating safe roads.
Buddy, with the winter weather that is sitting on top of us right now and cold temperatures, you best believe there's some farm equipment out moving around.
For sure.
Well, that's a good reminder. Just remember, keep an eye out for farmers and their equipment on roads, really no matter where you are, especially now. There's bound to be more travel to rural areas where these farms are. Yeah. And those guys want to have a safe and healthy Christmas just like we do.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. Well, how about we wrap up the show with a little fun?
I smell Segway. There you go.
Yes. All right. Well, y'all know we like to have fun with trivia on this show.
We do,
regardless of how good or not we are. So here's what we did. We thought we'd have a little Christmas themed trivia for our end of the year closeout. Here's how this went. We shared a website and said, hey, pick out some questions to ask me. I'll pick out some questions to ask you. And that's kind of where we ended it. And then we sat down in here to record the podcast.
And right before we started, we admitted to each other that we thought we'd probably likely pick the same questions. So my curveball is I went to a completely different website as well.
Nice.
So
I did not. So
mine are mostly jokes, though. So,
are they?
Yeah, they're horrible dad
mine
jokes.
Mine are real trivia, so
I know.
I apologize to you for that.
No. I thought it'd be good to mix it up. So,
yeah. All right, who should
such
go
as
first?
What's every elf's favorite type of music?
Oh, this is great. I love that you did this. Snow tunes.
Rap.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be good. Yeah. All right.
I mean,
much more serious note. What famous Christmas carol became the first song ever broadcast from space?
Oh, man. Silent Night.
Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells, okay.
Yeah, not the first Christmas carol, but the first song ever broadcast in space. Yeah, pretty cool.
I literally would not have guessed that one. So,
yeah.
In 1979,
okay,
women's groups, politicians, and seniors organizations protested which Christmas song?
1979. Baby, It's Cold Outside.
No.
Okay.
Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. They hated that song, apparently. That was.
You know, that's a good one. My kiddo discovered I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she's heard Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
I hear it
that's
every year.
That's changing today.
Yeah. That's talk about cancel culture.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, let me see here. I got a couple of these. How about this one? Which country started the tradition of putting up a Christmas tree first?
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. They celebrate. They're known for another big celebration. More in the fall.
Germany.
Boom.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
I didn't want to give you too much.
Well, that kind of gave it away for me.
Well, it's better than like they also drink out of the huge mugs.
Right.
Which is where my mind first went.
What year was Santa born?
I saw it. 270 AD.
You got it.
I saw it.
You got it.
So
yeah.
I will tell you, though, there's an excellent book called The Autobiography of Santa Claus that my wife shared with me and I read several years ago. And it delves into like the Christianity aspect of it and things like that. It's a fantastic book. And so I have actually read that before I saw it on the quiz.
Wow.
It's an excellent book. Yeah.
That's great.
Which reindeer is named after thunder?
Oh, man. I saw that one too.
Did you? All right.
I know this.
You want me to help? It's also a German word.
Is it?
Matthew's trying to help you, but he's incorrect.
I couldn't hear because I had my headphones
on.
Yeah. Blitzen?
Donner. Yeah. Donner is the German word for thunder.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
All right. More trivia or jokes?
I'll mix it up.
So. Okay.
What's it called when a snowman has a temper tantrum?
Oh, gosh. He melts down.
A meltdown. Very good. Very good.
All right. How many reindeer pull Santa's sleigh? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Traditionally?
Yes.
8.
9. Oh, I guess traditionally. I see what you mean.
Because Rudolph only did it one time, right?
Yeah.
But is he like full-time?
I think Rudolph's full-time.
Okay, then 9.
But how did you know 8 just right off the... I would have had to try and name them.
Because I was always, as a kid, like, no, Rudolph's part of the group. And
yeah.
Other kids were like, no, he only got asked one time.
Well, then I think you got it right because I threw you off.
So 8 or 9.
8 or 9,
how
but
about
9 was the answer here.
Well, what do you call a reindeer ghost?
I'm not sure.
Caribou.
We are driving Matthew insane right now.
I did these on purpose for him because I knew he'd be back there going, let's end this now.
Rolling his eyes. He's like, this is terrible television. I have one more.
Go for it.
Which U.S. state has a town called Santa Claus?
I had that one.
Did you really? I knew it.
Indiana.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to switch.
Okay.
Did you have in which country do people celebrate Christmas by gathering on the beach?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a country, so don't say Hawaii.
Well, it would have to be a country with a beach.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Italy?
Australia, which was a bit of a head scratcher.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but, they're opposite, right?
Interesting. Okay.
What? Yeah, go surfing.
Children leave things for Santa.
Oh. As a matter of fact, may I tell you a story?
Yeah.
This morning, we made some sugar cookies earlier this week, and my daughter Marilyn said, "Dad, I don't think those plain cookies are going to work for Santa." But I set her mind at ease.
Okay.
I let her know Santa's not picky. When it comes to cookies, Santa's not picky. And she's like, "Okay, well, I'll take your word for it."
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And she bought it. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
all right. You're the authority. So
he's talked to me about it. And he's fine.
I remember my dad taking a phone call from Santa one time.
Oh, really?
He wanted to go out and eat, and I was concerned if we left the house, because it was like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I was concerned if we left the house, Santa was going to come. And he said, "I'm pretty sure Santa knows, but let me call him."
Yeah.
So he acted like he got on the phone and made a phone call.
Yeah.
He said, "They're good. They won't come till later."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, good. Thank goodness we can go." And we went out and ate. I didn't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Little did I know.
Yeah.
So how about that?
How about that?
Well, Swedish children, what do they leave for Santa?
Some sort of different dessert. Streusel. Coffee.
They leave him coffee.
That's my kind of.
That's in case he's tired, They think he's tired.
Give him a little pep up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has to do with like the timing of their time zone versus the world, or if it's just like a friendly gesture.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
So, and you'll appreciate this one.
Okay.
But on the topic of coffee, Where does Santa's reindeer stop for coffee?
Well,
you got to get this one.
I know. I don't. There's a Starbucks joke.
Starbucks.
What?
Starbucks.
Because the reindeers are. Yeah.
Bucks.
Okay. Yeah. See? That's, what makes it worse is like getting it because you don't get it, or yeah. Well, those are good. Those are fun.
They were all fun.
I'm telling you, there's some really interesting Christmas trivia.
There is.
Coca-Cola and their involvement with the color of Santa's suit being red and white and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I mean, the most iconic TV commercial for me was the when they're lighting up the Christmas tree with the Coke and everything, and singing I'd like to teach the world to sing.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean,
I still love that commercial.
Seriously, those guys did. Yeah,
fantastic stuff. Speaking of pop culture, we were talking about.
That's where Jim Varney came from.
Well, it probably
right.
Did. Probably.
I think he came from a Coca-Cola spot. He was born. I know the idea of Ernest was born from an advertising executive working for Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
I've gone way too far back than I care to admit in the Jim Varney story.
Yeah,
but I'm a big Ernest fan.
Yeah,
and Ernest Saves Christmas is a fun movie.
It's funny. You're a big Ernest fan, and Rob was a big Fletch fan. That's my brother. Those are his two icons.
Really?
He loves.
Oh, that's cool.
He loves Ernest and Fletch. That's so.
Man, I grew up watching all those Ernest movies over and over and over again. I mean, he was that was Jim Varney was cool and a stud. He wasn't like what in real life.
No, I know. It's so funny to see him in real life.
Yeah, for sure.
Wild, but.
All right. Well, that wraps up the news for this week and for the year.
That's right.
Thanks to you for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen today and always.
That's right. And remember, you can catch the video production every Thursday at 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And you can listen to the audio version on iTunes, Spotify, and make sure to leave us a review when you have an extra couple minutes.
That's right. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau and hosted by me, Jason Brown.
And me, Brian Pistole.
And our guest today has been Matthew, sort of from the behind the camera scene.
Begrudgingly and rolling his eyes at
our jokes. Yeah.
Our antics.
That's it. All right. Well, that wraps us up. We'll see you next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
That's right. See ya.